What is going on, team? Welcome back to another video. Also, by the fact that from the window just here there is actually sun coming through, which might suggest that I'm not currently in England. At time of filming, it is Saturday 4th of February and I'm actually currently here in San Diego. The reason for my travels are publicly shrouded in mystery. Any theories or guesses, put them down in the comment section below. I'd be interested actually to see why you guys think I'm here and see if anyone can work it out. But today on this video, I want to share with you a recent revelation that I've had about what I believe is the lowest hanging fruit to improve your performance, your health and your physique. Now, there are a hell of a lot of things that we can tweak in regards to nutrition or recovery or biohacks, etc. But today, for the sake of this video, I'm going to park them, and what I'm going to do is go into what I believe is the biggest dictating factor of success for your performance, your health, your physique, your fitness, when it comes to what you're actually doing in the gym. Some people might say it's structuring your session a certain way by having strength movements at the beginning and conditioning movements at the end. Other people might kind of claim that it's doing your strength and power and central nervous system dominant stuff at the beginning of the week and then tailoring down that neurological intensity and up the volume by the end of the week. Some people might say it's doing push-pull legs, or others might say it's doing full body sessions every day. And these are all individual nuances, guys, in regards to what we're executing in the gym. But today, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, look at everything in the macro, and share with you a slightly different perspective. So it's about time for my sweeping statement now, and then for the next few minutes, I'm going to attempt to back it up. I believe that the lowest hanging fruit to develop your performance, your health, and your physique, and with that, the biggest dictating factor of these three things improving, is the level of intensity and application of effort you are giving to your particular approach, and not necessarily what the approach is itself. That might sound fairly obvious, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that in a second, and I'm going to show you how we can hack that, because that is not, I'm aware, as easy as it sounds. My first proper S&C coach, a guy called Will Badenoch from the Plymouth Performance Gym, big up PPG, gave me like a sledgehammer insight once, and he said the most generic program in the world, when executed like vehemently, doggedly, like a flipping psychopath, is going to yield better results than the most scientifically tailored program kind of executed half-assed. An adage of don't just get the session done, kill it, is probably quite appropriate if you actually want to improve. But I'm aware that that is not always as easy as it sounds, especially with the flipping volume of inputs from work and home life and media and everything. Overall, the modern Western world is flipping tiring. So what I'm going to do is share with you a couple of things that I do believe that are just tiny little hacks, but that can just give you a little bit more flipping oomph to execute your current program more intensely. And I know that this might be a little bit of an uncomfortable truth, but hopefully you guys are aware that there is probably a little bit of validity in the statement that if you've been on a program for 6 weeks, program hopping is a way to increase your motivation for about 5 minutes, but it is always going to diminish. Finding a way to hack our level of intensity when we're in there might also be a good go-to system. So starting off with hack 1 on this then, guys, there may actually be fairly simple ways that you can just improve your own relationship and association with your particular performance, health and physique goals now, and inject some new stimulus in other areas of your lifestyle so that when you do go in the gym, you do actually want to train a little bit harder. So this first hack of inject some new stimulus in there, the first component of that, super flipping simple, change your playlist. If you've been listening to the same music over and over and over again, do not underestimate how much that level of novelty is just going to inject a little bit more flipping energy into your veins. And it might mean that sets 4 and 5 of bench, you are actually able to go a little bit heavier. You can either curate your own. I'm not a massive fan of that because I just can't be bothered. But luckily Spotify and Apple Music have 1,000,001 different kind of gym training playlists. So if I am feeling a little bit flat, listening to some music that day is probably my first step to try and inject a bit of energy. Next one, still under the kind of the bracket of this same hack, might sound a bit stupid, but this genuinely flipping works for me. Watch a gym training montage before you go and train. If I'm having a little pre-workout snack, I'm there in front of my laptop and I'm watching like a CrossFit or bodybuilding or a hybrid of the two, highlights reel and montage with some like hardcore music over in the background. I'm like, flipping heck, I'm ready. And again, it's not going to be a complete overhaul, but if it gives you an extra 0.5%, then it's doing the job right. And it kind of makes it more fun because it feels like you're chasing that thing, because it feels like you're chasing something the same way that we all were when we all got into training when we were 16. The second hack then, keep yourself accountable with a date in the diary for the future. I'm a huge fan of entering something that makes us feel a little bit uncomfortable, whether it's an OCR, whether it's a powerlifting competition, whatever the hell it may be, or even if it's like a topless photo shoot. Assuming you're a man, topless photo shoots for women are slightly different things and not really in my wheelhouse. And I did mention that in a previous video, but it really does work. So hopefully if you are hearing this message repeated from me for the umpteenth time, maybe today is the day that you decide to allow that to resonate with you and you go book yourself onto a Spartan or a novice strongman competition. It doesn't matter what it is, but if it's something you're interested in, and it's not even about the competition. It's not even about the event. The purpose of entering something like this is to have a date in the diary sometime in the future, which means if it's like 4 months down the line, that for me is the perfect amount of time, because anything more than 4 months, I think there's a little switch in my brain where it goes, you don't have to worry about it yet, it's too far in the future. But knowing that I've got something within the next 16 weeks means that every flipping gym session or run or whatever the hell it may be, from now to then, I do train a little bit harder, because even if it's only 5% of my bandwidth being aware that this thing's coming up, that just means I'm less likely to flip and wrap my tits in and cruise and take it a little bit easier and sandbag, and I'm more likely to just be like, right, I will just get this extra last set done, or actually I do think I've got a little bit more in the tank to make this last little conditioning piece, you know, a little bit spicy or cheeky or whatever it may be. So again, it's not about absolutely smashing whatever this event may be, it's about making sure that every training session for the next anywhere between 4 weeks and 16 weeks in the future, you get the compounded benefit of every single session in that period being executed with a little bit more intensity. Number 3, super quick on this one, it's kind of related to the first one, but I think it deserves its own little chapter in this video. Train in a new gym. I think the new stimulus of where you go, having new people around with new equipment, with, you know, if you are listening to the music in there, with new music on in the background, even traveling a new route to this gym, all these tiny little details are going to add up. And again, none of these things are going to result in you then walking into the gym one day feeling as though you've had Jack 3D injected into your fucking eyeballs. But again, an extra little 1% energy to allow us to do what we're trying to do, which is execute our program with more intensity. If some of these things do that, then surely it's worth a try. Number 4, this thing absolutely flipping works for me, but for you, the success of this method might depend on your general ambient anxiety levels. One of the things I like to do is if I have to get out of the gym, because I will get the work done, but I can Parkinson's law my way through an entire session, and if I've got 2 hours before I need to be somewhere, I will take 1 hour and 45 before I walk out of the gym. But if I have to be somewhere in 75 minutes, I will be out of the gym in 60, having done exactly the same work, probably got more of a strength benefit, more of a growth hormone release, and more of a metabolic effect by the fact that I've done all the same work in a shorter amount of time. So having something booked, like a meeting or a phone call or something, got to go pick the kids up, whatever the hell it may be, not that long after you walk in the gym, for me has been a very good way to make sure that I execute everything with a little bit more intensity and I'm just conscious of time. It applies just enough positive pressure that I'm very aware of what time it is and I can't stretch my rest periods ridiculously long. But it has to be something that you can't move. You can't just text your mate and be like, gonna be 10 minutes late for coffee because you're pissing around in the squat rack. So it has to be something that is immovable, so you have to get out of the gym and you have to get there. And hack number 5, this is a little bit of a controversial one, but you are a bunch of strong, legendary warrior samurai ninjas, so I have no doubt that this will resonate with you. Go somewhere where you are humbled by the fact that you are the flipping weakest and most pathetic and pitiful in the room. If you have an ego that is robust enough that you can handle that and it motivates you to up level, and you are grateful for being in an environment where you can learn and just be motivated purely through observing the other people, then wicked. And if your ego is too sensitive for that, then go do a few psychedelic trips and then we can chat soon. Even if that is your own gym, but you know the big strong guys go there at 4:30 p.m. or whatever, and you currently train at 2 p.m, manipulate a couple of things so that that's the time that you go, so you're in the area with guys that are a lot stronger, and I guarantee you will do everything you can to pick up a pair of dumbbells that are slightly heavier than the ones you picked up last week. All of the 5 things I've just shared with you are hacks to give us a little bit more motivation to train a little bit more intensely. But I do genuinely believe the biggest dictator of success in pretty much anything is application of effort. It is one of those uncomfortable truths. And the modern Western world, we have kind of cultivated this attitude of silver bullet chasing and passing the buck of responsibility. If you're obese, the reason you're obese is because of genetics. If you're not elite in a particular thing, the reason is your coach wasn't good enough, or this, or that, or whatever. And again, all of these things are relevant, but there's no point focusing on them when they are outside of our control. And I do believe that championing some personal responsibility and realizing that to a point we are sovereign, we do have agency, and we are in control of more than we often allow ourselves to believe, is in the short term, very humbling experience, but in the long term, a very informative and productive one. As always, team, it's been a flipping pleasure philosophizing with you today, it really has. Really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please do smash that like button. It just takes you 2 seconds, but it's incredibly beneficial for me. It helps the channel grow, which then leverages me more time, effort, energy, and money to ensure that I document the appropriate things to make your pursuit in fitness, physique, health, and performance even better, more streamlined, and with less friction. So please do like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with someone else, because you're the one that gets the benefit in that really strange roundabout way. Any questions on anything, please do put them down in the comment section below. And as always, beautiful people, stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will see you in the next video.